I used to think sumo was just a sport, a showcase of two men exhibiting incredible amounts of strength and force. There was a winner and a loser. But when you're here inside the arena, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels so much older. Like you're not just watching a fight, but instead you're stepping into something that's been practiced for a very long time. Outside of these walls, Tokyo is moving at full speed. But in here, everything slows down.
I have been in Tokyo for nearly a week now, and I've gotten to see so much of the city. I've absolutely loved it. I think one of my favorite things about Tokyo is how it feels and is a collection of a bunch of different cities with a bunch of different vibes, a bunch of different aesthetics. You can go from massive neon billboards to quiet little shopping streets. Everything is connected really well. I've gotten to accomplish much of what I wanted to accomplish. However, there's one thing that I haven't done yet, and that is go see sumo. 3 times a year in Tokyo, there is the Grand Sumo Tournament, and there is one happening right now as I'm here. Originally, when I went to look for tickets for the Grand Sumo Tournament, they were all sold out. Apparently, these tickets sell out, way in advance, and it was going to be absolutely impossible to see. I was a little bit heartbroken, but I said, okay, that's fine. Maybe there's another sumo experience I can have. Then I happened to be scrolling on Airbnb not too long ago, and I saw an Airbnb experience to attend the Grand Sumo Tournament here in Tokyo. It was quite expensive. They are box seats and it comes with a guide, but I knew that I had to make this happen because it was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I am heading to go meet my guide and I'm going to see sumo and I can't wait. This is going to be such an interesting, special experience, I think.
Before the matches even begin, it helps to understand what you're walking into. Sumo is over 1,000 years old. It began as a Shinto ritual, performed to entertain the gods and ensure good harvests. That history still shapes everything that you see. The ring is considered sacred. The salt is thrown to purify the space. The stomping drives away evil spirits. But the pacing of it all, the long pauses, the resets, the waiting, all of it is so intentional. This isn't about hype, it's about preparation. Before you can really watch sumo, you have to learn how to look at it.
Hi, I'm Kaori. I'm in Tokyo and I take people to sumo. I think the most important thing about sumo is everybody thinks that sumo is a sport, but actually it's not a sport. It's a life itself.
That sentence alone reframes everything.
Sumo match, it's very different if you look at through TV, or it's very different from that kind of experience. In this tournament, in a sumo arena, you can feel directly the sound of the body and the people's excitement.
What she's describing doesn't sound like a sporting event. It's more about being a shared experience. There is a calm in this room that didn't necessarily match what I expected. It's so far from a Western sort of quote-unquote sporting event. There's no screens, no music building hype, no countdown clock. Everything in here feels so deliberate. The ring isn't just where something happens, it is the center of the room. Everything else orbits it. This doesn't feel like just entertainment. It feels like I'm entering a place where you're expected to behave a little bit differently. The part that I didn't expect walking into a sumo tournament was how much time exists before anything actually happens. But no one is impatient. The waiting doesn't feel like just a pause, it is part of the ritual. Every motion means something. The salt isn't intimidation, it's purification. The stomping isn't aggression, it's grounding. It's all about respect for the space, for the opponent, and for the moment. And the longer it takes, the more it feels like the fight itself almost becomes secondary. And then, all of a sudden, it's over. Seconds, and I'm talking seconds, sometimes even less. All of that waiting for something that disappears almost as soon as it begins. But that is when you start to see it. It's not this chaos, but instead it's control. It's all about balance, timing, decision. There's no celebration, and there's no anger. Winning doesn't look like triumph, and losing doesn't look like failure. For a very quick moment, it feels violent, and then it turns into something much more precise. Like watching something decided long before the body's ever touched, as if the sumo god was looking over, knowing the results before it even happened. In this arena, strength matters, yes, but understanding matters so much more.
Sumo is beyond just sport. It's something that represents Japanese spirit, not only our fighting spirit, but also they teach us how to live, how to confront difficulties sometimes, and they give us always the courage. They give me a courage to live.
Sumo is not just a sport. It is a memory and tradition that keeps getting practiced over and over again.
I just finished up with the sumo tournament, and it was such a very cool experience, once in a lifetime. My guide Kaori was so lovely. She was so informative. There's so much to sumo beyond just fighting. As she said, it is far more a way of life than it is a sport.
By the time people start leaving, nothing here feels loud anymore. The matches are over, the crowd fades, and Tokyo starts moving again. But what stays with me from this night isn't a single fight. It was the restraint, the patience, the care taken with something that doesn't need to survive, but does. I came in here thinking I was going to watch this incredible feat of strength. And I did see that, but more importantly, I saw discipline. And the only thing that mattered was being present long enough to notice. Yoshino!